What's up, everybody? I hope you're doing well. So I've noticed that time and again, there seems to be certain items that therapists in private practice, particularly therapists who are just getting started in private practice, tend to waste way too much money on. Some of these expenses are just completely unnecessary altogether, and some of these expenses are things that are worth spending some money on, but not to the extent that a lot of therapists are spending on them. So I'm gonna go over what I think those expenses are that therapists waste money on, and I'm also gonna share some theories on why I think therapists just overspend when it comes to starting a private practice. If we haven't met yet, welcome to Private Practice Skills. I'm Dr. Marie Fang. I'm a psychologist in private practice, and I love teaching fellow therapists how to start and grow a successful private practice without making all the same mistakes that I did. And this video is a good case in point because I did waste my money in some places in private practice. So let's get into some of the things that I think therapists waste money on in private practice. At the top of this list is website designers. Now I know, as I'm saying this is just it's just a controversial thing to say, but I think a lot of therapists waste money on website designers, especially while starting out, and I'll explain what I mean by that. So if you want to have a professional website designer design a website for you completely from scratch, it's gonna run you a minimum of $5,000 up front, ranging upwards of $10,000. I mean, I've seen it go up from there even. So it's a pretty penny to throw down right up front, especially, and for many folks, this is their biggest expense when they're starting a private practice. Now we might say, well, Marie, you advocate for having a great website all the time. I do. But the reason why I think therapists are wasting money on this is that there's this belief that if I throw $5,000+ at a website, then that website is going to fill my practice for me. And what a lot of therapists don't realize is that when you pay a website designer to do your website for you, they're not typically focusing on how to have your website show up in Google search results. Or in other words, they're not focusing on SEO. They're focusing on creating a beautiful website, making it really user-friendly to go through. And so all of those things are wonderful, but if you have this amazing user-friendly website that no one is finding, then that's $5,000+ just completely down the drain. You're much better off to go with a website building tool like Squarespace, or there's other ones out there. Go with one of their templates that they already have available, is already beautiful, and tweak it in a way that represents who you are well, while focusing on SEO. And that way you're in it just, like 20 or less bucks a month rather than thousands or sometimes over $10,000. And then someday, once you have your practice built up, you have that revenue coming in consistently. If you would like to level up, scale beyond what you've already built, by all means, spend that money on a website designer to just make it all that more amazing for you. Another place I see therapists wasting a lot of money is renting a full-time office way too early. I always hear that mentality of if you build it, they will come. But again, if you have this gorgeous office space, but you don't have clients coming in to experience your amazing therapy work in your gorgeous office with your beautiful website, then it's just money wasted. They don't know to come find your beautiful office, and renting it too early isn't gonna fill your practice faster. It's just gonna be a much bigger overhead expense than if you were doing teletherapy from home, or maybe subletting an office from somebody else, 1 or 2 days a week, something like that, until you build to a point where, again, your revenue justifies that kind of expense if you would like to someday have a full-time office. Another place where I see therapists waste money and just continuously throw money at all the time is on unnecessary credentials and trainings. Now, I'm going to emphasize the word unnecessary because I am all about you getting the credentials and trainings that you need in order to offer the type of therapy that you would like to focus on. But I can't tell you how often I hear therapists say things like, well, I'm gonna go get, EMDR certified because I just hear that that's what you have to do in order to fill your practice. No, if you want to get EMDR certified because you want to get EMDR certified, go for it, embrace it, enjoy it. But if you're seeking a certification like that only because you think that that's what you need to fill your practice, you are absolutely wasting your money. If you're having trouble filling your practice with your existing credentials, you're having a marketing issue, not a credentialing issue. So maybe focus some more of your energies on that. And another place where I see therapists waste way too much money, and this one is just really easy to just drop a ton of money on, is on paid ads. Now, much like the other things I mentioned, I'm not anti-paid ads, and if you know what you're doing or you pay someone who knows what they're doing, paid ads can be really useful. But what a lot of folks do is they set a really high budget and create some Google ad or Facebook ad when they don't know what they're doing, and they have it set on some daily budget where it just automatically withdraws, $100 a day or whatever it might be, and it is draining out of your account when that ad might not be performing very well. It might be showing up in front of people who aren't your ideal client, or maybe the way you wrote the text, the copy of your ad is not particularly optimized, and so people see your ad and they just kind of move on. You don't end up filling your practice with that money. Now, if you're interested in trying out ads and you don't know what you're doing, by all means, you can hire somebody who knows what they're doing to do it, or you can test out an ad with a smaller budget. So hopefully you're catching on to a theme here. It's not that spending money in private practice is bad or spending money on the things I mentioned in this video are bad, but I see a lot of therapists throwing a lot of money at these things in the hopes that it will do something for them, and then it doesn't do what they were hoping for. I see so many therapists making these same mistakes over and over and over again. And so it raises the question, if it's kind of common sense not to spend money you don't have and not to spend money on a problem that is, it's not solving the problem that you're trying to fix, why do people keep making this mistake? And I have a theory about this. One of the hardest parts about building a successful private practice is marketing. And as a therapist, the thing that we are selling to potential clients is a relationship with us. So if you're experiencing any type of self-doubt, insecurity, imposter syndrome, then maybe it might feel a little bit tempting to sort of cover that up with this sort of magic trick of other things you spent a bunch of money on in the hopes that that might help people want to book with you as their therapist. But the reality is you are the thing that you are selling to clients to hopefully have them book with you. Now, I truly believe that whoever you are on the inside, if you're genuinely yourself, there are people out there who need your help and want to work with you. And you're actually hindering yourself if you're kind of covering up who you are with these other things. So take that wisdom from me through the screen. If that's what you needed, take some time to self-reflect. And yeah, before you throw down a whole bunch of money on something that you don't really have the money for, just pause and think through whether this is what is really going to benefit you or your clients. And before we close, I'd like to thank TherapyNotes.com for sponsoring this video. One thing that we do all need in our practices, no matter what kind of practice you're running, is some system for managing your practice, managing your paperwork and booking your clients, and having a HIPAA secure telehealth platform if you're offering online therapy. TherapyNotes covers all of these things and more in their features. So if you're interested in checking out TherapyNotes, you can get 2 months to try it for free with no commitment just by clicking the link in the description of this video. Well, I hope you found this video helpful no matter what phase of private practice you might be in. And if you are a more seasoned therapist, leave a comment below offering your tips and advice for what things you wish you hadn't spent money on or you feel like you wasted money on, so that other people can learn from your mistakes, your wisdom as well. And until next time, from one therapist to another, I wish you well. Also, I think this might be one of the last videos, or the last, or one of the last videos that I'm filming in this space. So if so, thank you, little space. I already packed my little blue globe thing. I'm gonna miss you. Looking forward to whatever's coming next though.